You're listening to Sports Connections with David Smale.
I remember, and I don't remember if it was during the Pac-12 tournament or during the early stages of the NCAA tournament, you wore a T-shirt that had something to do with your dad, and I'm sorry for not knowing more about it, but here's your chance to tell us what that T-shirt was and about your relationship with your dad.
Sure. Well, the first two games, my daughter had a friend up in Portland make some T-shirts that they wore. I think one of them was, we were picked 12th in the Pac-12, and it was a not 12th, and the 2 was crossed off and it said first, and it was kind of cool. Then they went home after we won Oklahoma State. They knew they were coming back for the Sweet 16 game against Loyola, and they knew the significance of that game. So I'm the youngest of 11 children. My dad was raised in Detroit, my mom in Chicago. Dad served in World War II. They met at the Navy Pier in Chicago, danced the night away, started dating through mail like they did back then, got married when my dad got out. He had gotten his GED through that opportunity in the armed services. And then they moved to Lansing, and he got his undergrad and master's from Michigan State. He was Dean of Men at Marquette.
Wow.
That's where I was born, in Milwaukee. We moved to Chicago when I was 1, and he was Vice President, Dean of Students at Loyola Chicago for a number of years. And I remember going and, watching George Ireland coach, going to practices, and I'm 6-7 years old at the time, going to work with my dad in the summer, kind of running around the halls. And then we'd take off at about 11:45, jump on the L and go to Cubs games. It was always 1:15 first pitch.
Yeah.
And just some great memories. And when I saw Loyola beat Illinois and we were playing Oklahoma State later that night, I thought this would be unreal, if we were lucky enough to win and then meet Loyola. We lost my dad in 2002. He never saw me coach as a head coach. It just brought back a lot of emotion. So my family brought back a shirt, and it said Oregon State, and the A in the state was an 8, hoping to, that we would get to the Elite 8. There was a Sweet 16 deal but then on the side of the sleeve, it had my father's initials, Wayne F. Tinkle, the same as mine. And they gave it to me that day, and I wasn't sure. I'm not overly superstitious, but I wore that shirt underneath my 3/4 zip. And after we shook hands with Coach Moser and huddled our team up real briefly after that win, something just got into me, and I wanted them to know that I wore that shirt underneath, how much it meant to me. And so it was kind of a cool moment. Again, I had some of my buddies give me a little bit of grief that, shoot, couldn't they find one big enough for you? But, my dad meant a lot to me. Just there were stages in my career where, I wasn't maybe putting in the effort academically or giving it my all in the weight room or whatever early on. I just wanted to play, right? I just wanted to get in the gym and play. And I remember Mom was always the one that sent the birthday cards, the Christmas cards, the letters to see how you were doing. But my dad sent me a 4-page front and back legal size paper letter when I was in college, telling me all he had been through, in and out of foster care. His parents used to handcuff him to the bedpost when they went to the bar to drink. Quit school at 10 during the Depression to get a job to provide for the family. And then his story of getting his GED through the Navy, going to Michigan State, and basically it was, if I could go through all that I did and get to where I did, I know, we've provided you with better opportunity, get your head out of and get to work.
Yeah.
And it was a real turning point for me. And so obviously I've always looked up, to my dad and all he meant to our family. And it was a neat moment and a neat opportunity, to maybe pay a little bit of tribute to him. And it was great that my family saw that, and brought that to light.
Thanks for listening to Sports Connections with David Smale. Make sure to subscribe, follow, and rate the show from your favorite podcast platform. You can learn more about David Smale and his work by visiting davidsmalebooks.com. Don't forget to join us weekly for new episodes. Until next time.